Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Universalist Church in which love is the spirit. We're glad you're here on this stunning day. How beautiful is it? Why don't you take a moment and just say good morning to the people who are around you? Good morning. And I want to add a good morning to those who are watching us on YouTube from anywhere in the world. We're glad that you're here too. I'm Gretchen Fountain. I'm standing in for Lisa Smithhorn, who's in your program, but she's a little under the weather today. So I'm a last-minute sub. It's a team. If you're a visitor, we do hope that you'll talk with our welcome team or visit our webpage, www.westhartforduu.org, to learn more about us. Our guest book or online contact page will help you to get onto our electronic mailing list. Those communications are the best way for us to stay connected. We look forward to helping you become part of the Universalist Church. Masks are always welcome here. We encourage you to stay updated with your vaccinations or boosters. If you would like a mask, our ushers have some that we're happy to provide for you. I do want to add an announcement that the Lives We Lead program that was scheduled for today is not happening today, but registration for the class on November 19th is open and filling quickly. So if you're interested in that program, please register. Our longtime member, Dick Sederquist, is looking forward to leading this class on self-exploration. Thank you, Dick. After worship today, we will have fellowship in Fisk Hall and through Zoom. If you need help finding your way to Fisk Hall for our fellowship hour, any member of the church will be happy to guide you. Just go that way and smell the coffee. You can find the link for Zoom in our weekly news or our Breeze calendar. If you aren't getting the weekly news, please sign up for it on our website. Now I invite you to take a moment, take a deep breath, make your mobile phones silent, turn off email, put away keyboards, any kind of distraction, and please settle in for worship.
Good morning, everyone. What a bright and beautiful day outside. Not the warmest, but not bitter cold yet. I'm enjoying the sunshine and the clear skies. Our call to worship this morning is entitled "The First Shall Be Last" and was written by Gary Kowalski, and as is my habit, I modified it just a little bit. Gracious Spirit, who makes the first to be last and the last to be first, who makes the rain fall and the sun to shine upon us all, help us to understand that life is not a contest where having the most toys is the point of the game, to realize that the victor's circle can be the loneliest spot on earth, to recognize that the greatest rewards don't always come from winning, but from relationships where triumphs and tears can be celebrated and shared. Powerful Spirit, infuse us with your life-giving strength and grant us the inward security of knowing our own goodness without the need to prove it to the world. Lift us above both envy and pride, the need to feel superior to others, and feelings of inadequacy alike, enabling us to walk together as equals at home in the great community of life. Wise Spirit, we know that life is not a race to be won, but a journey to be savored. Grant us the faith to live each day with the finish line in sight, so that when our days are over, our achievements will be measured not by the degrees we've earned or by the size of our estate, but by the dimensions of our character, not by the quality of our possessions, but by the quality of our love. Triumphant Spirit, instill in us a yearning for the prizes that matter most, not the laurels of celebrity or acclaim that bring just passing pleasure, but grant us the more enduring gold of a life well lived, spent in gratitude for what we've been given rather than in pining for things that we lack. Gratitude for friends, for work, for opportunities to use our gifts in service to the world. Holy Spirit, hear our prayer. Come, let us worship together. Our chalice lighting and affirmation this morning. Those of you who are watching at home, if you have a chalice at home, please light it with us. This next piece is entitled "For Every Time We Make a Mistake," and it was written by Maureen Killeran. We're going to do this responsibly, and so your part, should you be willing to help me out here, is we light this chalice. Pretty simple, pretty clear, straightforward. For every time we make a mistake and we decide to start again, we light this chalice. For every time we are lonely and we let someone be our friend, we light this chalice. For every time we are disappointed and we choose to hope, we light this chalice. Please join your voices in singing our opening hymn. If you have a gray hymnal at home, we're singing hymn number 30 in the gray hymnal, "Over My Head."
Music in the air.
Thank you, everyone. Please join me in speaking the words of our affirmation, our covenant, that are printed in your order of service. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated, be comfortable in your seats. For our time for all ages this morning, I bring you the frisky feline fable. Felix was an excellent guard cat, vigilant in his duties until one day he got distracted. Felix and his brother Franz embraced their role of protecting Elise's home from mice. Each evening after dinner, they would sit quietly inside and carefully watch the cracks and holes in the walls. "Look, Franz," whispered Felix, "there's a mouse about to dash across the room." Felix wasted no time in chasing after the mouse, catching him just as he was about to run and hide in a crack in the wall. As he proudly strutted toward the back door to take the mouse outside, he muttered, "Felix 1, Franz 0." And he was puffed up with pride about his success. Although Felix loved his role, he loved playing with yarn balls more. Elise knew this, and normally she'd put the yarn balls away before going to bed. Tonight, however, she was so tired after baking an apple pie, yum, that she completely forgot. As Felix was scanning the room, the yarn balls caught his attention. "Felix, we're out here, come play with us." Immediately, he scampered away from his surveillance post and started playing with the yarn balls. "What are you doing, Felix?" yelled Franz. "I can't possibly keep an eye on every corner of the room." But Felix was too busy enjoying the yarn balls, and Franz missed the mouse that jumped up on top of the counter and right into Elise's apple pie. When Franz eventually got Felix's attention and showed him the damage the mouse had done, Felix felt ashamed. "Oh, I wish I had just focused on what was important instead of being distracted," he exclaimed. "Now Elise's apple pie is all ruined." Felix was a frisky cat, and his natural demeanor served a great purpose for his human Elise. He and his brother always did a fantastic job chasing and catching critters that invaded the home. He embraced his role successfully when distractions stayed out of sight. Unfortunately for Felix, however, the colorful yarn balls sidetracked him, and because he allowed his playfulness to take over, he lost focus on his mission. Whether you're discouraged by the monotony of following your goals or distracted by a single temptation, the outcome is usually not really good. By having the strength to avoid the lure of anything other than your goal, you'll enjoy the greatest rewards. Keep your eyes on the prize on the horizon. Your happiness can be everlasting when you resist the temporary enjoyment of short-term distractions in favor of long-term satisfaction. Give yourself the best opportunity possible to make the most of your life. Achieving greatness today results in you having lots of time to bask in your victory tomorrow. Maintain your focus on the kind of future that you're working toward. Learn the true value of sacrifice by resisting the most intense desires that block your path to greatness. And now we're going to sing the children down to their class. The words to this song, "We Will Keep a Place for You," are printed in your order of service. Please join me in singing the children down to church school. Place for you. Thank you, everyone. And now it is the time in our service where everybody can participate. It is time for our offering. We are grateful for all the ways in which you support us and one another. By offering your time, talent, and treasure to the community, you help us serve this congregation's members, friends, and wider community. As part of that service, we share our general offering each week with organizations that are in harmony with our values and who do work in the world that brings us ever closer to creating the beloved community. As part of our service, why is that in there twice? Okay. It's important, but I'm not going to make you listen to it again. This month, we share our offering with Operation Fuel. Operation Fuel ensures equitable access to energy for all by providing year-round energy and utility assistance, promoting energy independence, and advocating for affordable energy. Founded in 1977 after a worldwide oil embargo caused an extreme rise in the cost of home heating, a number of religious communities, industry leaders in banking, insurance, and utilities, Father Thomas Lynch and then Governor Ella Grasso collaborated to provide energy assistance for low-income working families who were not eligible for government help. The program gained strength in 1983 when the Connecticut General Assembly mandated that gas and electric companies serving more than 75,000 customers provide an opportunity to add $1 or more for a customer to their monthly bill payment, using those funds solely for direct assistance to Connecticut households. May the strength of our collective giving spread, multiply, and make real our aspirations for the beneficial impact this church can have on the members of this congregation, the surrounding area, and within the hearts and spirits of all who worship here and online, and all who benefit from our generosity. To give electronically, please use the QR code on your order of service, the links in the description, or those on our website to make your donation to our offering. Our offering will now be generously given and gratefully received here in the sanctuary. for your generosity this morning and every Sunday morning. May your hearts continue to expand. May the joy of giving fill your hearts, lighten your spirits, and carry with you as you go this week the knowledge that you are a helper. Thank you. Our congregational reading this morning is at number 577 in the gray hymnal. We're going to read it responsively. I'll read the Roman text and I'll have you read the italicized text. Number 577 in the gray hymnal. It's entitled, "It is Possible to Live in Peace." If someone with courage and vision can rise to lead in nonviolent action, the winter of despair can, in the twinkling of an eye, be turned into the summer of hope. Nonviolence is not a garment to put on and off at will. Its seat is in the heart, and it must be an inseparable part of our being. Nonviolence, which is a quality of the heart, cannot come by an appeal to the brain. It is a plant of slow growth, growing imperceptibly but surely. If a single person achieves the highest kind of love, it will be sufficient to neutralize the hate of millions. If we are to reach real peace in this world, and if we are to carry on a real war against war, we shall have to begin with the children. The future depends on what we do in the present. The wise words of Mohandas Gandhi. Please join me at this time in singing the doxology, which is printed in your order of service. Please rise as you're willing it. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. I begin our time of prayer and meditation with a piece written by Richard S. Gilbert entitled, "Life is Always Unfinished Business." Life is always unfinished business. In the midst of the whirling day, in the hectic rush to be doing, in the frantic pace of life, pause here for just a moment. Catch your breath. Relax your body. Loosen your grip on life. Consider that our lives are always unfinished business. Imagine that the picture of your being is never complete. Allow your life to be a work in progress. Do not hurry to mold the masterpiece. Do not rush to finish the picture. Do not be impatient to complete the drawing. From beckoning birth to dawning death, we are in process, and there is always more to be done. Do not let the incompleteness weigh on your spirit. Don't despair that imperfection marks your everyday. Do not fear that we are all still in the making. Let us instead be grateful that the world is still to be created. Let us give thanks that we can be more than we are. Let us celebrate the power of the incomplete. for life is always unfinished business. As Unitarian Universalists, we join our hearts, spirits, and voices during worship. We support Sophie Emilson as she continues her healing journey and send strength for Julio Morales Jr. as he continues his recovery after returning to his home in Vernon. He's happy to be home and enjoys the cards sent to his home address. They lift his spirits. We send healing energies and strength to Ty Feaster, who had successful carpal tunnel surgery recently, and to Judy Bush, who is working to overcome bronchitis and would love cards and notes from the community. We express empathy and love for those gathering their strength to keep moving forward day after day. We shed tears for those we've lost to illness, to time, to the conflicts continuing in the Ukraine and Russia, Israel and Palestine, Haiti, Ethiopia, and for the people of Acapulco, Mexico, who are missing loved ones in the aftermath of Otis. We remember those no longer with us, and in the spirit of the Day of the Dead celebrations, we remember their names and what they meant to us. We celebrate the smiles, the love, the happiness of our fellow congregants and our community, because when one of us has reason to smile, we can all share the smile and offer one of our own. Congratulations to Karen Healy, who has started a new position at ShopRite in Cornwall and looks forward to serving their customers. We express continued welcome and gratitude for Hannah Garmis and her ministry with our youth and families. We commit our time, talent, and treasure to ensure that this beloved community remains available to those who need us and a steady presence for those who don't yet know that they need us. We do all of this because we belong to this church, to this community, and Unitarian Universalism, and I am grateful for that. I hope you feel gratitude for your belonging. If you are new to our church, welcome. We invite you and those who have questions about the church or Unitarian Universalism to join me and a representative from membership after the service. Usually we meet on the first Sunday of the month for an informal introduction and Q&A. Please grab a cup of coffee or juice and meet us in the parlor about 11:15. As you exit on the sides of the chancel to the hallway, it's the green room on the left. We hope to see you there. Please join me now in singing hymn number 123, Spirit of Life.
Our reading is It Starts with a Spark by Reverend Linda Susan Ulrich. A quick flash that makes you doubt your senses, but then a tiny ember glows on the braided twine and brings a flame, a chalice, to life. A blurry array of pinpoint lights move out toward the viewer. Soon you find a candle sitting on a table, desolate until its wick touches yours. And suddenly the brightness doubles. In an instant, the warmth has grown. This intensified glow draws others like a beacon. 5, 10, 50, hundreds maybe. Not moths bent on self-destruction, but fellow travelers seeking the road ahead. The people begin to move forward, no matter how far the line stretches. No one is left to fend for themselves. Everyone makes progress, or no one does. In the distance, bands of other beacons now beckon, proof of other sparks that became blazes. The air crackles with anticipation as everyone approaches the center. There, the scales are balanced. There, the broken are healed. Now you know what it means to be love. Now you know how to illuminate the sky.
My message this morning is an important one for me, and I'm hoping for some other people within the sound of my voice or the sight online. How to finish what you start. You're filled with interest and anticipation whenever you start something new, reaching toward a goal, completing an important task on your to-do list, or following a vision you have inside you. Your visions are inside you for a purpose, and you want to reveal that purpose sooner rather than later. You wonder how your project or event is going to progress. You think about how hard you're going to work on it, and your faith is steadfast as you await the manifestations of your dreams, the fruit of your labor. Waiting is the hardest part. Can I get an amen? There are many reasons why we must wait. Sometimes we must prepare ourselves for the changes that dreams and visions will bring to our lives. The patience to wait, gracefully or otherwise, doesn't always come immediately, but you must generate and exercise patience until it's the right time for your vision or your goal to be made manifest. Keep your joy while you wait for the vision to come to reality. Okay, Dianne, how do you do that? Keep your hope solid. That force that helps you to keep moving forward and keep taking those baby steps toward your goal. Your hope remains solid in large part because of your attitude, not your circumstances. The choice is ultimately up to you, not your circumstances, not the people around you, and certainly not the opinions of others. You choose to believe in your dreams instead of giving up on them. Exercise the self-discipline necessary to persist faithfully, acting as if in your required and often mundane daily tasks while you hope and work for something greater. When anxiety tries to distract you, employ your force of will to remain calm and carry on. Build that momentum so that your dreams stay within your reach. Share your vision with positive people who will encourage and motivate you. Stir up your faith while talking about your hopes and dreams, and know that while life takes its time, sometimes way more time than we want to give it, you can choose to be positive and climb the mountain toward your goals and dreams. There may come a day when your energy seems to flag and your cherished dream or goal, the project that has occupied your heart and mind, just doesn't seem as important as you once thought. When this happens, your cherished goal seems to lose its glow. That bright, shining light that seemed to pull you forward isn't quite as bright as it used to be, and maybe it's even fallen off the top of your to-do list. You likely have some other things you need to work on, and the project, dream, or goal you were all excited about gets put on the back burner. Before you know it, months have passed, and you never seem to have the focus, time, or energy to go back and finish the journey. So now that I've thoroughly depressed you, let's talk about how you can change this normal and perfectly imperfect recurring sequence of events. Imagine the increased feelings of pride and accomplishment as you begin to finish your projects, one after the other, like dominoes falling. Momentum is a real thing, and while it's immensely powerful, it can ebb and flow like the volume of a river. When the sun is bright and high and water levels, i.e. motivation, are low, the river flows more slowly, and obstacles in the way can cause the water to divert from its preferred path. So what rocks or obstacles are in your river of progress toward your goals? They don't and can't stop your progress, but in the moment, it's hard to see that. And it's also true that baby steps forward are still steps forward. Small amounts of progress add up. And as long as you don't stop trying to make progress, you can count that as a win. Perhaps not your ultimate win, but anything worth having is worth working for. When you notice the lack of progress or when things just aren't moving fast enough, there's some strategies you can use to turn things around and push toward consistent completion of your projects and achievement of your goals and dreams. So here's a few strategies to help you finish what you start. First, prioritize. Before you jump in and begin something, especially if you've already got a few goals in progress in your life, ask yourself if it's really important. One key to finishing what you start is not to begin something less relevant in your life. You've likely heard the story of the professor who asked his class if a large jar was full. Initially, there's nothing in the jar, and then he adds some relatively large rocks to the jar. After doing this, he asks his class, "Is the jar full?" Some say yes, some say no. He then adds smaller stones to the jar and asks again. Some students respond yes, and then he adds sand to the jar to prove them wrong. He continues asking, and now they're on to him. They say, "No, the jar's not full." And he adds water to the jar to fill the remaining spaces. Finally, there is no more room, and the jar is full. When pursuing your goals, get the big rocks in place first. Then keep filling in with smaller stones, sand, and even water to provide a truly full jar, your ultimate goal. For example, buying an expensive Italian language package to learn to speak Italian might sound challenging and fun, but do you plan to travel to Italy or some other Italian-speaking country within the next year? Maybe you're headed to Mexico instead. So how much good will speaking Italian do you there? You aim to complete your degree and achieve the qualifications to change your career or maybe even start a new one. A productive baby step could be taking one class at a time. It will take you some time, but each course you take moves you forward, and by keeping your goal in sight, you'll maintain your motivation to do well in each class. You want to redecorate a room in your home, but you're unsure of where to start. Begin by decluttering. Get anything that doesn't belong in the room out of it, and donate items that still have value to Goodwill or another charitable organization. It's November, and you want to start a massive project of cleaning out the closets in your home. Recognize that the holidays are starting soon. Christmas and Hanukkah are next month. Is this the right time? Can you get the closets done in less than a month? I couldn't. If not, don't stress yourself out trying to rush the project and end up with a result you're unhappy with. You can always commit to starting the project on January 1st and put it on your calendar to make it even more real. Next, commit yourself. Commit yourself to your project after determining that it's important enough to start and the time is right. When you make this kind of commitment, write out exactly what you plan to do. Give yourself enough detail to make the steps clear, but don't overdo the detail. Plan to finish all your steps in a reasonable time frame that's both acceptable and doable. Plan your project and then proceed with each step according to your plan. Now, when things don't go according to plan, which I've just realized they did not for me because the other half of my sermon is not in my book. So, what I'm going to do is effectively drop back and punt. I'm going to get the other copy. And we continue. Step 4, honestly evaluate your energy level. If you're working and caring for your family, everything else you do is extra. Do you have enough energy reserves to take on another project and see it through to the end? You be the judge. And remember, you can say no and refuse to overburden yourself. Consider your desired end result. If you finish the project, how will it affect your life? Will your everyday life be better? Will it mostly be unchanged? Will you feel a sense of pride and completion? Spend some time reflecting on the experience of finishing the project to help fire up your motivation. And then be realistic. Be honest with yourself about everything we've discussed. The more realistic you are when deciding to start something, new, the more likely you are to finish the task. That doesn't mean you can't reach for the stars, but you want to give yourself enough time and space to do so. Overscheduling yourself or rushing into a project that's far beyond your current capacity is a recipe for stress, and who needs more of that? Finishing what you start can be a real challenge in our busy and important lives, but being detailed in your planning will help. Be realistic, but also be hopeful about the project before you begin any new endeavor. If you think and plan proactively and then act, you'll be much more likely to finish projects once you decide to start them. The result? Every project you begin will enhance your life rather than detract from it. Amen. Ashe, blessed be. Our closing hymn this morning is number 89 in your gray hymnal, Come My Way, My Truth, My Life. Please rise as you are willing and able. Are willing and able, our unison benediction. Engage with the world in peace. Have courage. Hold on to what is good. Return to no person evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the suffering. Honor all beings. Thank you. You may be seated. Please remain for our postlude.